Oh, hey guys, how you doing? It's Mike G here from Source Energy Consulting Firm and SourceEnergy.com, your life coach. Welcome to another edition of Straight Talk. Um, Today we're going to be talking about a couple of different things, but uh, the the subject that I want to discuss now is, I'm sorry guys, I'm just thrown off today, just a little nuts or whatever, um, is comparing your old relationships to your new one. I know that seems a bit, people might say this wrong. It's not right to do that. And in all actuality, that's the only way to do it. How do you know if you're progressing if you're not taking an inventory of the relationship you currently have with the one that you've had previously? You know, the idea of being able to move forward has a lot to do with where you were. Where you're going has a lot to do with where you come from. And to see that you're improving, you have to compare the relationships that you have now with the old relationships. So don't feel bad about doing that. Where you can get into trouble with doing that, and this is what I want to try to help you to avoid, is thinking that the new relationship should function like the old one, or you're seeing signs that it might be functioning like the old one. The truth of the matter is you're the common denominator in your life. All of your ex-boyfriends or ex-girlfriends don't know each other. They didn't plan to ruin your life. And they certainly didn't plan to come into your life and do the exact same thing as the one before. So if you're the type of person who keeps experiencing the same things over and over again, if you keep experiencing the same type of men or women over and over again, or the results of your relationships tend to always end the same way, I'm here to tell you that that's your fault, because you didn't compare the relationships that you had previously and learn from them. You didn't make the adjustments that you needed to make from your last relationships to be sure that it doesn't happen again. So if you say, you know, I'm the kind of guy, man, I always meet these women who they always want to take what I have and leave me for dead. They all want to take my money. That's your fault. That's your fault. That's your lesson to learn. That's your challenge. You're the one that's creating that. So what you end up having to do is you need to compare all of the relationships that you had. What happened at key times and key moments in your relationships to make them go into this particular direction. If all the women are doing it and none of the women know each other, it's got to be you, because they all know you. So the way you can avoid that is by paying attention, making sure that you are comparing your previous relationship to the one you have now in all things. In all things. Even the shallow, superficial way, hair or height or build, those things tend to matter in life when you're talking long term. You know, you ever sit on a seat and you first sit on the seat and you're like, wow, this seat is really, really soft. It's so soft, it feels nice. But then after you sit on it for 10 hours, you find that, you know, this seat is too soft. It's not, doesn't have any support. It's killing your back. Now you got to stand up and you got to walk around. So yeah, it's a good thing initially, but long term, it's not very good. Relationships are a lot like that. You know, you might find a situation where you meet someone, male or female, and it's soft. It's so soft. It's so nice. Until you have to sit on that seat for, 5 years, 3 years, 18 months. And then you're all of a sudden like, hey man, this seat is really uncomfortable for me. So you might be the type of person who just needs to understand a little bit more about balance so that you can pick the right seat. But if you don't compare them, how would you know? If you don't look at a man and say, these are the attributes that I really enjoyed from my last relationship, and these are the things that I didn't enjoy. If you don't do that, how do you know if you're progressing or not? You don't. There's no way to know unless you compare them. So, and I know this is sort of a taboo topic, and that's why I was laughing in the beginning, because someone's here and I was talking to them here in my office, and they just made me laugh before the camera started rolling, and I just couldn't get it to stop. Because talking about your past relationships, people tend to think that, well, I don't want to compare. I want to start fresh. I think that I'd like to look at this with some new eyes. Well, then you're going to be doomed to making the same mistakes. You want to look at this relationship that you're going into from the understanding of where you came from, what you had to deal with, what you liked, what you really, really enjoyed, and the things that you didn't. You want to make sure you put in what you want to put into a relationship, and you remove what you don't care for. This is being responsible. I often say, I'm a hopeless romantic, and I like the big gestures of romance. I do, but not all the time. Strategically, yes. At those moments when it's really needed, yes. But I don't walk around here, skipping through the tulips. That's not how I live my day-to-day life. My day-to-day life with me in a relationship is actually, pretty strict. I have guidelines and rules, and I have a system that I like to live by. Of course, I don't want to ask someone to live by these rules who do not agree. I don't want you doing something out of the sake of sacrifice. But I'd rather it be who you are inside. There are some people in the world that are born to do certain things. When you find that person, when you're with that person, you feel everything feels effortless and comfortable, and it feels like it belongs. For me, that's how I'd like to live my life in all things that I do. So how will I know if I'm with that person or not if I'm not comparing them to my last relationship? So you have to do that. You really need to take time to do that and understand that you can tailor fit for your life the relationship you want if you're willing to pay the price. So I hope this helps you out, guys. Comparing relationships is pretty good, although it makes me smile a little bit thinking about how that happens sometimes. But we don't have enough time to go into all of that today. So please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and put some comments down. If you have anything to say or you'd like me to discuss anything, you can reach me at MikeG, SECF, @live.com. Thanks, guys. Been a blast. Talk to you later.